Michael is directed by Antoine Fuqua. Now I tell this off the bat. Michael Jackson is one of my most favorite artists. I love listening to his songs. I grew up with it. He made my childhood really great. So going to the theater, watching this man's biopic, and then reviewing it for you guys is both a pleasure as well as an emotional experience. Let's moonwalk. Now, this biopic is very well structured. We get a glimpse of Michael's early life in the beginning of the movie. It is anything but glamorous. He's from a lower middle class family. He has little resources and money, and he has a domineering father. However, there is one light that is made very evident in the beginning of the movie: his talent. His talent is unrivaled. He is one of a kind. There never will be anyone like him, and he's basically God's work. Now, before I enter this movie, before I go into this movie, since I am so in touch with this artist, there are certain things about him, certain aspects about him that I really wanted the movie to explore, and luckily they did, and I was quite happy. I'll just go through him right now. Firstly, his love for animals. I am an animal lover myself, and when I was seeing another artist, famous artist like him, showing such love for animals was really heartwarming to me. Especially the chimpanzees. Do watch out for the scene; it was really great. And of course, secondly, his love for children. Even despite him being in a bad situation, he goes meets children. He wanted to unite the world. He is not just a guy who wants to make music labels and just want to make money out of it, just wants to live the life. No. For him, music was his life. It was the oxygen he breathed. He wanted the entire communities to unite. So that was a wonderful and beautiful message that this man delivered. And his love for children was also evident in this. And thirdly, and which is a little more ballsy in my opinion, they not only showed the glamorous parts like his skill, his dancing, his singing. He's great. He owns the stage. However, there are some less glamorous and, of course, the difficult aspects of his life that they did gloss over, and I'm pretty happy about that. His health issues, as well as his family struggles, especially with his father, as well as his on-stage accidents and how it impacted his life and the people around him. So I'm happy they went through all this. And that leads me to my next point: his complex relationship with his father. I will admit, Coleman Domingo's performance as Joe Jackson is just amazing. It was just perfectly accurate to the character. And I was pretty surprised. I did not expect Michael Jackson's father to be this complex. He's a complex character. You cannot say he's bad. You certainly cannot say he's an angel. He was strict. He believed in the concept of family. For him, family was everything. He did whatever he did was for his family. Now there was a major. He loved Michael just as any of the other Jackson five. However, there was one key difference: their view. Michael Jackson wanted to be an individual brand. He wanted the brand to be Michael Jackson, but his father wanted to be the Jackson brand, the Jackson family brand. So this was where they differ, and there was a lot of friction between him and his father because he wanted to go on his own path. He wanted to carve out his own name, his own legacy, but his father wanted his family to tag along with him. He tried to take advantage of his fame, his fortune. He wanted to uplift his family. However, just because he keeps saying family and keeps family in the forefront doesn't mean he's a good person. He was exploitative. He was overly domineering. So he was a very unlikable character. And the way Michael deals with him, the subtle emotions, you could really see the acting here. Whenever he's happy, he's himself. But whenever his father comes in, he becomes shy. He becomes meek. He becomes you can see the unpleasantness in his face. I really love these subtle performances by the actors. The dynamic was perfect for this film. And of course, this film is not without its comedic moments. I mean, it does not have to be doom and gloom all the time. The one with the chimpanzee, that was funny. The other one, which I really liked, was, yeah, Michael Jackson loves his footwork. Yeah, have you ever seen Michael Jackson stand still and sing? No, he doesn't. He has to sing and has to do all the complex footwork. There's a scene in this movie, I won't describe what it is, that exploits this. It's really funny. It had me giggling. So there are some good funny moments in this film that keeps things light. So I just want to I felt that was a good touch. Now let's get to the next obvious awesome part. I mean, let's say this is the meat and potatoes, or so I say cherry on top. The music, the dance choreography. It was splendid. It was out of this world. When you hear Michael Jackson's music, there's a reason I liked him over other artists. There's a certain bounce to it. There's a certain tune to it. It hits you. You literally can't get, you can not get excited. Get what I mean? You have to cheer for him. He had this amazing aura, the sound design, the set design, everything was amazing, accurate to the time, and his dance moves was just fantastic, done to perfection. And of course, anything less than spectacular or stellar in the sound design or the music would be a disservice, a massive disservice to this character. Now let's talk about our main star, Jafar Jackson. Could they have picked a better person for this role? I don't think they could have. He literally is MJ's nephew. He had his DNA. He had him inside him. So he portrayed him to perfection. I observed every single thing about him. His subtle nuances, the style in which he walks, the dresses he wears, the tone of voice, the dance moves, which was done to absolute perfection, his conduct, his calm, cool demeanor, his aura, everything was jotted down to perfection. The way he was handled in this movie and the way he handled himself was stellar. So I can't give enough credit to him, and this will definitely go down as one of the most perfect castings in history. We keep talking about RDJ as Iron Man. We say Chris Evans as Captain America. We say that, but however, Jafar Jackson as Michael Jackson has got to be will deserve its place among those people who were perfectly cast in a role. And of course, our boy Miles Teller was in this movie. He played a very subdued, subtle, but effective performance as Jackson's manager, and I think I liked him. He suited the role, and there was very little emotion in him. He just meant business. So basically, his character represented business and nothing more. There was no real emotion. There was, so of course, there was a concern for Jackson whenever he was in bad times, but I like that he kept it strictly professional, and I think it suited to Teller's talents really well. Now let's get to the negatives. Now let me be clear about this. These are not negatives, guys. There's no real negative in this movie. I think they show it just fine. But is it perfect? Absolutely not. So let's put it this way. Instead of negatives, I'll put as deficiencies. They were not. They were deficiencies in this film. Something they could have done more of, which would have made the story a little more meaty and juicy. It would have been more nicer. Could have enjoyed. Could have understood the character a little better. Like I said earlier, they did grow. They didn't just show his glamorous parts. They showed the unpleasant, challenging, difficult parts of Michael Jackson. However, they haven't yet glossed over his allegations, his courtroom issues, courtroom drama, and such things. Of course, I can understand this is just the beginning of the biopic. We are just showing his initial life as well as how he became Michael Jackson. So the only the good stuff have been mostly shown over here. So I'm assuming since there'll be a part two, and most likely based on the performance on this film, there definitely is a part two. It'll be more of a courtroom drama. This will be a family drama, which they showed really well, and that will be a courtroom drama. That's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm actually hoping for. Let's hope it is shown in its entirety. And now the second part. Now this is really something that really I wish this could have happened, but it didn't. The Jackson Fives. Now he had four more brothers. You can't say they weren't talented, but however, they were just left in the sidelines. I really wish the filmmakers explored more about these brothers. What were their feelings for him? Were they happy for him, or was it just surface level? Were they not jealous of him? Come on, if you have a brother like Michael Jackson, who is an icon, who has talent unrivaled, you would feel something, right? The brothers would feel something, some resentment, some like something in them were lacking. So I wish these emotions were explored more further. They explored his father a lot. His father played a significant role in this film. But however, the rest of the brothers were left in the sidelines, and I didn't like that much. I really wish they did more with that. They just showed one thing, that they outgrown their childish ways, but that's not enough. You want to know his relationship with his brothers. If that was explored more, I would have been even more happier. So my opinion on this movie, fantastic. It was awesome. Now, let me be upfront about one thing. I'm not a fan of musicals, except The Greatest Showman. Yeah, that was good. I'm not a fan of biopics. I'm not much into biopics, except Social Network. But this movie has both. It has a biopic of a very famous and a talented man, and also it is a musical. It is a hardcore musical. I loved it. Despite it being the blend of both, I loved it. And I would definitely recommend it to you guys. And I would be surprised if you have not watched it yet. Please do watch it. Join the excitement. A packed theater is what you need. See, Michael Jackson was a showman. He enamored the crowds. Tell me one artist who can make the crowds turn from people into a horde of zombies. Not many. They literally lose their minds. Some of them faint. They want to go and attack him. They want to be with him. This guy had an aura which is matched by very, very few artists. So if you have to watch this movie, watch it in a crowded theater. That's where you really get the feel. You feel like you're watching a concert. This is not a movie. It's like you're watching a concert on screen. That's all I have to say about this. So what do you guys think? Do you like this movie? And what is your favorite Jackson hit? What is your favorite Michael Jackson song? Do let me know in the comments below. I'll share my opinion as well. And of course, please do consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. It will mean a lot to me as a reviewer, as a YouTuber. And let's embrace cinema together. Bye for now.